Hey folks, Fred Bernardo, the smoking guitar player from Tasty Licks Barbecue. That's tastylicksbbq.com. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook a brisket. And I'm going to use this here gadget. And I'm going to cook it on that. So here we go! That's right, folks. It's Fred Bernardo from Tasty Licks Barbecue. We're going to cook a brisket. We're going to cook it on a Barbecue Guru Onyx barbecue oven. And we're going to do a quick test of the Onyx oven and of the new CyberQ WiFi from the Barbecue Guru. Okay? Now, this isn't going to be a cooking video. I'm not going to show you how to cook that brisket, though I will show you what it's like at the end, because it's going to get fabulous. But we're just going to talk. I'm not going to get into the technical aspects of this either. We're just going to do a little talk. I'm going to show you that it works, etc., etc. This is going to be a quick video. We'll get in depth later. This is the CyberQ 2 right here. CyberQ 2 Wi-Fi. CyberQ 2 Wi-Fi from the Barbecue Guru. Look at that. I can zoom in on that all by myself. Anyway, this is the control unit. And basically, you plug this thing in, like out here at your grill, because, you know, I'm in my secret test kitchen, my backyard. And all I do is I plug this thing in here, give it some power. I can use a power supply, a battery power supply if I have a big one, like we use at contests. And we plug this thing in, and I'm going to tell you, it works like a champ. It gets Wi-Fi, it gets on the internet, it has its own web server, so I can actually just access it from my iPhone. And I can do an ad hoc network, iPhone to this, or a laptop to this, right, one computer right to this, boom, boom, boom. Control it, monitor the meat, do all the stuff, turn the functions on and off. I can set it so it sends me email alerts every couple minutes and tells me the status of everything. They really did think this thing out quite a bit, and it took them a long time to get it to market, and that's why. It's in a plastic case instead of their usual metal cases, and that's because if they put it in a metal case, that metal case acts as shielding and really shortens the distance. This thing will supposedly shoot up to 1,000 feet. Now I can tell you this, it'll definitely go through the siding of my house and the windows and stuff and get inside my house. And because I set this up on an infrastructure mode, which is this hooked up to my router. It gets a IP address from my router. You set it up this way, and it gets an IP address from my router. It gets its own IP address, and then I can get on it from any computer that's hooked up to my router very easily. I put the IP address in, and I'm hooked right up. Now, there's no wire to it. There's no Ethernet. There's no nothing, you know, just the power supply. Now, the other thing I can do when I'm on that infrastructure network, using the magic of port assignment. That's right, port assignment, and I don't mean port wine. I mean port assignment. You can go into your router and set it up, and by putting in the IP address of your router on the internet, you go right to this gadget. So for instance, the last time I cooked, yesterday, I was out riding around in my car and I was at a red light and I just punched up my IP address and on came the screen for this, just like I was sitting at my computer in my house. Then I went to work and I was at the office. I decided, you know, I think I want to cook that a little faster, so I changed the temperature, and you can watch the percentage that the fan is running, and you can see it all of a sudden came on, and the fan was running more, and the temperature started to climb until it got to my set point, and then it stopped. You can turn the ramp functions on and off if you're familiar with that. You can set a point. Let's say if your brisket's going to be done at 200 degrees, you can tell this thing that my brisket is done at 200 degrees, but I got to go to work. So when it gets to 200 degrees, ramp down the temperature of the oven, ramp down the temperature of the grill like your big green egg. And it puts it into the hold mode, and it'll act like a warmer, and just keep it warm till you get there. Now that's pretty cool. So let's just show you how this thing comes when you buy it. It comes in a box like this, and it comes without a blower or an adapter. So you need the control unit, you know, which is around $300 in today's prices, 2012. And you also need a blower, a fan, and an adapter. So it has a good manual, and they're going to be adding to this too. It tells you how to hook it up with Verizon. I have a Comcast and a Linksys router, and wasn't too tough. If you buy one from me, if you have trouble, call me up. I'll try and help you through it. Okay? So, what you get is you get the CyberQ Wi-Fi unit here, and you get this little bendable metal gadget as a stand, or you can mount it to your smoker. A lot of people do that. Also comes with the unit 4 probes. That's one for the pit, the grill temperature, and 3 for meats. So for instance, on like the Onyx oven, or if you're on your big green egg or your ceramic grill, you can have one monitor the temperature of the barbecue cooker and the other 2 in meat. So let's say you got a brisket in there and a couple of pork butts. You can actually watch each meat individually. So for instance, if you're at a competition, that's how you would probably set it up. You'd put your brisket and your pork butts in there, and you'd monitor them. So you would know food 1, food 2, food 3. You can go into the software and label them. Pork butt 1, pork butt 2, brisket. And then you'll know what it is. And it's going to send you those email alerts, or you can just go on your iPhone, or you can go on a laptop. And like if you're at a competition, if you're in, depending on the mode you're in, maybe a couple of different guys can watch it on their iPhones at the same time. It comes with the 4 probes with nice long leads. Very nicely done. All heavy duty stuff, no toys. Here's the wall wart, the power supply to plug it into the wall. And it comes with this little carrying bag. Now, what it doesn't come with is the blower or fan. You use a 10 CFM for most applications, like on the Onyx oven or a ceramic grill, etc. You got a big honker, you're going to have to go to a 25. And you also need the adapter plate for your particular grill. Now, the Onyx oven has it incorporated into the back because they were designed to go together. The Big Green Egg has a little plate that goes in the bottom, and of course, we sell these. If you go on our website, tastylicksbbq.com, and go to the Cyber, just put Wi-Fi in there, and you'll probably get it. And it's a build your own. So you select the 10 CFM fan, and then you select your cooker. Okay? You could also select a little case if you want a nice case to carry it all around in. So that's pretty much the system. And we're just going to throw our brisket on there. We're not going to get into how we're cooking it, but we're just going to show you that it's working and show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay? So thanks for watching. The rest of this video will take, I don't know, a few more minutes, and you'll get an idea of what it looks like. But I got to tell you, the combination of this thing and that Onyx oven is rocking. I mean rocking. If you were doing a contest, a barbecue competition, you could probably do the whole competition with this setup right here. Okay? Fred Bernardo, tastylicksbbq.com. Here we go. So this is the Barbecue Guru Onyx oven being controlled by the new CyberQ WiFi. There it is. Now she's coming up to temperature. And over here we got Mr. Brisket all ready to go. So as you can see, it's honking away. All I did was put a starter cube in there, set the temperature at 275, and went in the house. And I'm monitoring it on my screen in the house. And there's our brisket. And in she goes. And we'll let you know how she turns out. Food at 59. Cooker was at 275, and it'll be coming right back up. Time to go back in the house and get out of the rain. So here we are after just 45 minutes. Cooker temperature 279. Now I have it set at 275. Starting to overshoot a little. Back here I have the vent all the way open, so I'm going to close that. About halfway. Something like that. And then we're going to see if she trims out. You can see our food's already at 94 degrees. About 45 minutes into this cook of a brisket. We're also going to trim down back here a little bit. As a matter of fact, we're going to leave the top back here. You can see we're going to cut her back halfway. Halfway. We'll see if she trims out. Halfway, top and bottom. Okay, we are 4 hours into it. I don't know if you can see that temp there. We're at 270. Food's at 169. That's a brisket that's in the inside. Now I put 3 probes in there just for the sake of science. By the way, it's 4 hours into it. This CyberQ is hooked up through an infrastructure network to my router inside the house, in there. And then, through the magic of the internet, I was at work at the office, and I could get on the internet, and through the magic of port assignment, I could actually go into this controller and control it, and monitor the temperature of the meat. So I saw that it was time to get home and foil the brisket, and I came home to do it. You can see it's cooking away. Everything's groovy. I'm going to take the brisket out. Let's see what she looks like. Oh yeah, baby. Beautiful. I'm going to put a little more water in that pan, I think, too. There's our brisket. We're going to take it out, and we're going to foil it. Which is going to be interesting with 3 wires in it. Well, folks, remember we're cooking that brisket on the Onyx oven with the CyberQ Wi-Fi. So let me tell you, I'm now in my house, and I'm actually hooked up by going right to that address on my home network.
But I can tell you that the people over at my store have been able to access this same page, and when I was over at my store earlier, I could control the cooker and monitor the meat. Now, I don't know if you can see it there, but the meat is at 196. It's a brisket, and pretty soon we're going to consider it done. And the cooker has been honking away. It's 4 p.m. So that's pretty much been it. It's been holding, as you can see, it's at 270. I don't know if you can see that. The actual is 288 right now. It actually overshot a little bit just recently, but it's only running at 7%, so it's going to let itself come back down. That thing pretty much held 270 steady almost all day. Oh, you know what? I moved things around in there and moved that thermometer and clipped it on the side of the thing. I think maybe that's why we're getting that high reading. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're almost done cooking, and all is groovy. And that Wi-Fi unit really, really is a very cool thing. The Onyx oven, of course, is an extremely cool thing. And the two of them together just work wonderfully. You could use almost do a whole competition just with one Onyx oven. I've seen people do it, and that's that. So, folks, we're getting close to the end of our test cook. Cooking a brisket on an Onyx oven with the CyberQ Wi-Fi. Now, let me tell you, I started this at 8 o'clock today. It's now 5:30. I started the fire at 8. The meat went on at 9. About a half an hour ago, I pulled the brisket off. I separated the point and the flat, and I put the point. I put a little rub on the point, and I put it back in there. Oh, yeah, baby. That is going to be good. And we're going to cook that some more, and then I'm going to cut it up and make some really groovy burn ends. Then, just wanted to tell you, I've been monitoring all day through my iPhone here. I don't know if you can see that or not, if we can get a focus on that baby or not. But let me tell you, this iPhone, it's not just going inside the house onto the network and reading the Wi-Fi. I got a bee in the way there. This actually is going out over the internet and through the sky, into the internet, through the internet, into the router in my house, and then through the Wi-Fi out here and reading the unit. I've been monitoring it all day. I also changed the temperature. I was in my car and I thought I'd maybe speed these things up. I changed the set point to 300 degrees. I don't think I can get that focused on there. But anyway, so now we're going to pull this brisket out. We're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to get my assistant here, Mrs. SmokinGuitarPlayer. She's going to take the camera, and we're going to show you what this brisket looks like, okay? Here we go. Okay, so here we are. By the way, this is Fred Bernardo, the SmokinGuitarPlayer, and I am here at my secret barbecue test kitchen, also known as my backyard. Now, I pulled that brisket apart, I cut off the flat, and I put it here in the au jus. In the au jus, that's right, the au jus. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take it out, we're going to slice it, and we're going to see how I did. Now I already trimmed the fat off the bottom of this. My camera person is coming over here. Now you might notice that I made a mark here before I even cooked it, showing me that the grain is going this way, and I'm going to slice it this way. Now let's take a slice in here. It feels pretty good. Now we pulled this out about 45 minutes, an hour ago. It's reading 165. I'm surprised it isn't hotter, actually. I don't have my power knife here, so I'll have to use this manual one. We're going to take a slice here. Now normally we'd take it a little higher up, just to see what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. The floppy test. Perfect. Let's do the pull test. Boing. Perfect. Let's do the taste test. Really good. Now, what I'm going to do is, oh, that is really good. This is going to be good. I'm even going to cut it off at the thin end. I'm going to get a slice off of there. I'm going to put the half of this slice back. I'm even going to cut that off. Try not to cut my guitar playing fingers. Really appreciate that. And we're going to start slicing. I'm making these slices a little thick because my knife skills aren't the best. Now we're not at a competition. We're just doing backyard, so we don't really care as much. Let's taste them. Let's take another piece. Let's cut another one here. Now, officially, you want the thickness of a pencil, but I think a little thinner is better. But ladies and gentlemen, wait a minute. Let's do this right. Dueling floppy tests. perfect. Steamy, smells wonderful. Great smoke ring. And that's how it's done. Now, here. Put that camera up with me here. Assistant, faithful assistant. You see this? Give it a try. What? Okay. Good. Even with her gum, it still tastes good. Okay, so what I got to say is that's how you do a brisket in an Onyx oven with a Wi-Fi rig. You don't need all that fancy stuff, but hey, you only go around once. You know where to get it. TastyLicksBBQ.com. Fred Bernardo, the Smoking Guitar Player, signing off. And we'll take it out with Lilly, the SmokinRetriever. There she goes. Cue the theme song. Cue the theme song.
Lilly.